Hello students, myself Professor Prajakta Chaudhary from Red Shikshan Samstha, Annasai Vaute College, Mansar. Today we are going to learn chapter number 1, that is a solid state. In 11th standard we already discussed different states of matter. Which are the different states of matter? Solid, liquid and gases. These three are the different states of matter. What is the difference between different states? For example, solid, liquid and gas. These three are the different states of matter. In solid, particles are very closely interacted. In liquid state, they have some space, but in gaseous state, they are discarded. Now, in this standard, we are going to learn about solids. What are the solids, or which are the different properties of solid? Solid have definite volume, shape and mass. Due to the short distance between the fixed position of particles and strong interaction between them. Now, which are the different characteristics of solids? In solids, they have definite mass, volume and shape. Intermolecular distance. In comparison with liquid, solid and gas, solids have very short intermolecular distance. Intermolecular force of attraction is very strong in solid state as compared to liquid and gaseous state. Now, the constituent particles. Which are the constituent particles? Atom, ion or molecules. These are the constituent particles. In solids, atom, ion or molecules have fixed position and they can only oscillate. They are compressible and rigid. This compressibility, they are compressible, incompressible and rigid. But gas and liquid are compressible and have volume. Means liquids have volume of container. Means in which container they placed. The next point is types of solid. Which are the different types of solid? Solids can be classified as crystalline solid and amorphous solid on the basis of nature of order present in the arrangement of their constituent particles, that is atom, ion or molecules. First is a crystalline solid. What is mean by crystalline solid? Crystalline solid have characteristic shape with the arrangement of constituent particles of long range order, and they are anisotropic in nature. What is mean by anisotropic? Anisotropic means they have different properties in different directions. Now, this crystalline solid have sharp melting point. For example, ice, salt and sugar. Next is a amorphous solid. What is mean by amorphous solid? Amorphous solid behave like supercooled liquids. Amorphous solid behave as supercooled liquids. The arrangement of constituent particles has short range order, and these are anisotropic. These are isotropic in nature and no sharp melting point. What is mean by isotropic? Isotropic means they have same properties in all directions. For example, plastic, rubber and tar. Now, question is that distinguish between crystalline solids and amorphous solid. What is the first point? According to crystalline solid have definite shape and geometrical arrangement or geometrical form. But due to particle arrangement, amorphous solid does not have definite geometrical shape. Due to this definite geometrical shape, this crystalline solid have sharp melting point, but amorphous solid melt over a wide range of temperature. For example, sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a crystalline solid which have cubic structure, and amorphous solid, that is a powder. Talcum powder is a amorphous solid which does not have definite shape, means the particle arrangement is not proper. Third is they are rigid and incompressible, means solids are not compressed. For example, this pen is a solid, it is not compressed. Or amorphous solid, they are usually rigid and cannot be compressed to any appreciable extent. For example, graphite is a amorphous solid. However, graphite is soft because of its unusual structure. Next is a breaking of pieces, means they give clean cleavage, means breaking into pieces with plane of surfaces. And this amorphous solid, they do not give cleavage, means they give irregular cleavage. Next point is the heat of fusion. Crystalline solids. Crystalline solid have definite heat of fusion, or these amorphous solids, they do not have definite heat of fusion. Next is what is mean by anisotropic and isotropic. Crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature. Anisotropic nature means their mechanical and electrical properties depend on direction along which they are measured, means in which direction we measured properties, they show different properties. For example, refractive index. Or what is mean by isotropic? Iso indicate that same, means they have same properties, they have similar physical properties in all directions because the constituent particles are arranged in random manner. Now, which are the examples of crystalline solid? For example, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, sugar. These are the examples of crystalline solid. Plastic, rubber, tar. These are the examples of amorphous solid. Next point is isomorphous. Isomorphous means this iso word indicate that same, and morphous means form, means the substance which have same form. Substances are said to be isomorphous which are in similar in crystalline form and in chemical properties can be represented by similar formulae. For example, copper and silver, they have cubic structure. Copper and silver, they have cubic structure or same structure. Which are the examples of isomerism or isomerism substances? For example, sodium chloride, ratio is 1:1. Sodium bromide, again 1:1. Magnesium oxide, 1:1. Isomorphous. And what is the crystalline form of these substances? That is a cubic structure. And atomic ratio is 1:1. Like this, sodium nitrate and calcium carbonate. So what is the ratio of sodium nitrate? That is a 1:1:3. Calcium carbonate is also 1:1:3. And what is the crystalline form? Crystalline form is rhombohedral crystal. Isomorphous. Isomorphous. Isomorphous usually have the same atomic ratio. Means if atomic ratio is same, or substances which have same atomic ratio, same physical properties and same chemical properties, these substances are called isomorphous substances, and phenomenon is called isomorphism. Next is a polymorphism. What do you mean by polymorphism? A single substance that exists in two or more forms or crystalline structure is said to be polymorphous. Poly means many, two or more, and morphous means form, means single substance that exists in two or more forms or crystalline structure is said to be polymorphous. See here, for example, if polymorphism refer to polymorphism related to compounds and allotropy is related to elements. Which are the examples of polymorphism? For example, silver nitrate, that is AgNO3. AgNO3 crystalline form. Two different crystalline forms are obtained. One is a rhombohedral and another is a orthorhombic. Another example of allotropy, that is a carbon, crystalline form of carbon. That is a one is a diamond and another is a graphene. Diamond have structure that is a cubic structure and graphite have hexagonal structure. Next point is classification of crystalline solids. These crystalline solids, the classification of crystalline solid is based on their properties. The crystalline properties depend on the nature of interaction between the constituent particles, and therefore these solids are divided into four different categories. First is ionic solids. Second one is covalent solid. Third is a molecular solid, and fourth one is metallic solid. One by one we get information about these solids. First is ionic solid. Next point is ionic solids. In ionic solids, lattice points are occupied by positive and negative ions. Ionic solids are formed by combination of positive, that is cations, and negative ions means anions. They are hard and brittle. Third point is high melting point due to very strong electrostatic force of attraction. Means in ionic solid, very in ionic solid, very strong electrostatic force of attraction is present, or these are the poor conductors of electricity in solid state but good in molten state. Packing of sphere depends on, first is presence of charged species present, and second is difference in the size of the anion and cations. Means cations have always smaller size as compared to anions. There are two types of packing possible in ionic solid. First is AB type of packing and second is AB2 type of packing. Now, which are the examples of ionic solid? In ionic solid, general example is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is formed due to combination of cation, that is Na plus, and anion Cl minus, or charged species, presence of charged species. Another one is potassium chloride, that is a KCl. Next is covalent solids. Covalent solids. In covalent solids, lattice points are occupied by natural atoms. Lattice points are occupied by natural atoms. Atoms are held together by covalent bonds, or these solids are hard solids. Due to this hardness, we know diamond is a covalent solid. Diamond is a hardest substance. Means they are hard solid. Due to this hardness, they possess very high melting point. These are the poor conductors of heat and electricity. Which are the examples of covalent solid? Diamond, graphite, silica. These are the examples of covalent solid. Next is molecular solid. Third one is molecular solid. In molecular solid, lattice points are attached at the neutral molecules, or lattice points are occupied by neutral molecules. The molecules are held together by van der Waals force of attraction. They are very soft to hard, means some solids are soft and some are hard. Due to this softness towards the hardness, they show low melting point. These are the poor conductors of heat and electricity. Now, which are the examples of molecular solid molecules? For example, Cl2, H2, CH4. These are the examples of molecular solids. Last solid, that is a metallic solids. In metallic solids, lattice points are occupied by positive metal ions surrounded by sea of electrons. Is how will you draw the diagram of metallic solids? In metallic solids, the lattice points are occupied by positive metal ions, that is a cations, and these positive metal ions surrounded by sea of electrons, means around the electrons some cations are present. They are soft to hard, means they are vary from softness to hardness. Metals have high tensile strength. Due to this high tensile strength, or they are the good conductors of heat and electricity. They are malleable and ductile. Bonding electrons in metals remains delocalized over the entire crystal. Means these electrons are travel from one position to another position. Means in metallic crystals, the electrons remains delocalized. Delocalized means transfer from one position to another position in entire crystal. They have high density. Density of metallic solids are high. For which are the examples of metallic solids? For example, sodium, magnesium, copper, silver. These are the examples of metallic solid. Now, next important point, that is the crystal structure. What is a crystal structure? The three-dimensional arrangement of particles in solids are called crystal structure. Crystal structures are formed by combination of lattice and basis. Now, what is mean by lattice? Lattice is a geometrical arrangement of points, and when lattice attached to basis, we form crystals. Then how will you draw lattice? Lattice is the point and when this lattice attached to basis, we form crystals. The smallest constituent particles of various solids are atom, ion or molecules. When the order three-dimensional arrangement of particles in crystal described by using two terms, that is namely lattice and basis. Crystal is the structure that results by attaching a basis to each lattice point. Next point is unit cell. What is a unit cell? The smallest repeating structural unit of crystalline solid is called unit cell. Means any crystal, the smallest repeating number of units repeated in crystalline solids means the smallest repeating crystalline unit is called unit cell. For formation of crystal, each unit cell share its faces, edges and corners with neighboring unit cell. Now, in any unit cell, the dimension of unit cell along the three axes are denoted by symbols. These dimensions of axes denoted by symbol A, B and C. Means axes shown by letters A, B and C, and the angle between these axes denoted by alpha, beta and gamma. Means which are the dimensions used to measure unit cell. In any unit cell we measure three axes, that is A, B and C, and which are the angles alpha, beta and gamma. For example, it is a diagram of simple cubic unit cell. In simple cubic unit cell, what is our dimensions? Dimensions are A is equal to B is equal to C. Means all edge lengths are same. And what are the angle conditions? Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma. These are the dimensions for simple unit cell. Now, which are the types of unit cell? Unit cell are classified into two types, that is a primitive or simple unit cell, and second one is non-primitive unit cell. Now, what is meant by simple unit cell? In simple unit cell, atom, ion or molecules. These atom, ion or molecules are the constituent particles. They are located at the corner. When these points are located at the corner only, that type of unit cell is called simple unit cell or primitive unit cell. And another type is non-primitive unit cell. In non-primitive unit cell, atom, ion or molecule present at the corner as well as other part of the unit cell. These are called non-primitive unit cell. Here we discuss three different non-primitive unit cell, that is a body-centered unit cell, face-centered unit cell and base-centered unit cell. First one is primitive unit cell. In primitive unit cell or in simple unit cell, this atom or ions present at the corner only. Means how will you calculate total number of atoms present in simple unit cell? Total number of atom present in simple unit cell is equal to, for formation of any unit cell, total atom, here 8 corners are present, each corner contribute 1 by 8 part, so total corners are 8, hence in simple cubic unit cell atom contribute or total number of atom present in simple unit cell is 1. Second is body-centered unit cell. Now, what is mean by body-centered unit cell? In body-centered unit cell, this atom or ions present at the corner of the unit cell as well as whole one atom present at the center of the body. Hence, total number of atoms present in unit cell is equal to total number of atoms is equal to, each corner contribute 1 by 8 into 8 is equal to 1, means corner contribute 1 atom and whole 1 atom present at the center, hence plus 1. So total number of atoms contributed by body center unit cell is 2. Third one is face centered unit cell. In face centered unit cell, it is again non-primitive unit cell, means atom, ion or molecules present at the corner as well as faces of the unit cell. Now first consider atom of the corner. Here total 8 atoms present at the corner and 6 atoms. These 6 atoms present at the faces of the unit cell. Means total number of atoms contributed by face centered unit cell is equal to, means 1 by 8 into 8 is equal to 1. 1 atom contributed by corners and each face, total 6 faces are present. Each face contribute 1 by 2, means half part to the unit cell. Total combination is 3, means in face centered unit cell total number of atoms are 4. Next one is base centered unit cell. In base centered unit cell, it is again non-primitive type unit cell. In base centered cubic unit cell, each atom contributes its corner as well as 2 opposite faces are present. So total number of atoms in unit cell is 1 by 8. 1 by 8 into 8 is equal to 1 plus each half. Each opposite face contribute half. So total 2 faces contribute 1. Hence total number of atoms 1 by 8 into 8 is equal to 1 and 2 faces contribute 1 atom. Hence total number of atoms present in base centered cubic unit cell is 2. Next point is a crystal system. What is a crystal system? By mathematical analysis, it has been proved that only 14 different kinds of space lattice are possible. Means we can arrange particles by different 14 ways and 7 systems. These 7 systems are called 7 crystal systems and 14 points are called 14 Bravais lattice. Now here we are going to discuss different 7 crystal systems. First is a simple cubic cell. In simple cubic cell, A is equal to B is equal to C, means all edge lengths are same and edge angles are same. That is alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degree. Means these are the edge length and these are the edge angles. Edge length and edge angles both are same. In tetragonal, what is the condition in tetragonal? A is equal to B but not equal to C. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degree. For orthorhombic, what is the condition? All bond angles are same, that is a 90 degree, but edge lengths are not same. That is A is not equal to B, not equal to C, means all edge lengths are different, but edge angles are same. Next is a hexagonal system. In hexagonal, 2 edge lengths are same, but third one is different. Means these 2 edge lengths are same, but third one is different. An angle, that is alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 degree and gamma is 120 degree. Fourth one is rhombohedral. In rhombohedral, edge lengths are same. That is A is equal to B is equal to C and alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, but bond angle is not 90. In monoclinic, A is equal to B is not equal to C, means A and B are same but third one is different, and alpha is equal to gamma. Alpha and gamma are 90 degree and beta is not equal to 90. Next one is triclinic. What happen in triclinic? This word indicate that tri means 3. They show 3 different bond angle as well as 3 different edge lengths. Alpha is not equal to beta, not equal to gamma, that is 90, and A is not equal to B, means this edge length is different. this is different and this is also different. So A is not equal to B, is not equal to C. These 7 are the different, we studied this 7 crystal system. We see the video related unit 6.
In this module, you will learn about the number of atoms in a unit cell. You already know that every crystal lattice is made of an infinite number of unit cells, and every lattice site is occupied by a constituent particle that may be an atom, an ion, or a molecule. Now let's examine what portion of each particle belongs to a particular unit cell. Consider 3 types of cubic unit cells. For the sake of simplicity, assume that the constituent particle is an atom. Let's start with a simple or primitive cubic lattice. A simple cubic lattice consists of 8 atoms at the 8 corners of a cube. In the open structure shown here, the distances between the atoms are greatly exaggerated. In reality, the atoms are packed much more closely together, as shown in the space-filling model here. The space-filling model shows that the atoms touch along the edges of the cell. By considering the portion of atoms inside the cell boundary, we can generate a unit cell of a simple cubic lattice. From this, it is evident that each atom at the corners contributes 1/8 of its original volume to each unit cell. There are 8 atoms at the 8 corners. Thus, the number of atoms in each unit cell is equal to 8 corner atoms into 1/8 of an atom per unit cell, which is equal to 1. A body-centered unit cell contains 8 corner atoms, just like in a simple cubic unit cell. However, there is one more atom at its body center. As a result, the atoms at the corners no longer touch along the edges of the cell in the space-filling model. The unit cell of a body-centered cubic cell is shown here. It is clear that the 8 atoms at the corners contribute 1/8 of their actual volume each. In addition, one atom lies completely inside the cell. Therefore, the number of atoms at the corners per unit cell is equal to 8 corner atoms into 1/8 of an atom per unit cell, which is equal to 1. There is one atom at the center of the cube. Thus, the total number of atoms in a body-centered cubic unit cell is 2. The face-centered cubic lattice consists of 8 corner atoms, just like in the simple and body-centered cubic lattice. However, it also contains 6 more atoms at the 6 faces of the cube cell. The atoms touch along the diagonals. and each touches 4 corner atoms. A unit cell of a face-centered cubic cell is shown here. It is clear that the atoms at the corners contribute 1/8 of their original volume each. In addition, there are 6 atoms at the 6 faces, which contribute half of their original volume each. The number of atoms at the corners per unit cell is equal to 8 corner atoms into 1/8 of an atom per unit cell, which is equal to 1. The number of atoms present at the faces per unit cell is equal to 6 atoms at the faces into half an atom per unit cell, which is equal to 3. Thus, the total number of atoms per face-centered cubic unit cell is 4. You have now reached the end of this module. In this module, you learned that every crystal lattice is made of an infinite number of unit cells, and every lattice site is occupied by a constituent particle. There is one atom in a simple cubic unit cell. There are 2 atoms in a body-centered unit cell. There are 4 atoms in a face-centered unit cell.
In next lecture, we are going to discuss next point, that is the number of atoms present in unit cell and what is the packing of particle in crystal structure. Thank you, students.